Hi, I'm Melanie. I'm going to teach you about India. First, let's learn about India's format and climate. Normally, climates in India range between 60 degrees Fahrenheit to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, or 15 degrees Celsius to 21 degrees Celsius. But in the hot season, temperatures can go over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Also, India is really big. It's about 1,270,000 square miles big. I wasn't lying when I said really big. Because of its extreme size, it's called a subcontinent. But also because the Himalayan mountains cut it off from the rest of Asia. That's why Russia and China isn't a subcontinent too. Now that you've learned something about India's climate and format, let's learn about the people. You know when people say in the end, we're all the same? Well, in India, there are two types of people. In the north, there are Indo-Aryans. In the south, there are the Dravidians. Also, Hindu is the official language, although lots of people speak other languages. But really, we should talk about what people do. Unlike America, you are not allowed to date at a young age. Also, the parents get to decide who their child would marry with the child's agreement, of course. Now, where people live is a whole different story. You know how you live with your parents and your grandparents live somewhere else? Not in India. In India, you normally live with your grandparents, aunts and uncles, cousins, siblings, and parents. Now, sometimes the families in India are rich, but mostly they're poor. In small, poor villages, the houses are mainly 1 to 2 room houses with mud floors. In large cities, though where rich people live, there are brick houses, large stores, and air-conditioned restaurants. But don't worry, the Indian government is trying to improve. Let's talk about now what is commonly found in the streets of India. Normally, you will find stores, carts, bikes, and most of all, people. Also, small shops line the streets. The shop owners live behind the shops. Unfortunately, diseases spread quickly in these parts of India because of the overcrowding and because people aren't really clean. The Indian government is trying to improve also on this. How about we talk about schools and religions, which are both very important to India. Now, in some schools, in the small, poor villages, there aren't even desks and chairs. And most of the time, kids stop at 6th grade so they can help work in their family. But in cities where rich people live, there are wealthy schools, colleges, and universities. Now it's time for religion. The origins of 4 different religions come from India. They are Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. But there are lots of other religions in India too. Hinduism is very common. It teaches that the soul exists when you're dead. It also teaches to protect all and that the Ganges River is sacred. By the way, the Ganges River is one of the longest rivers in the world. No wonder it's sacred. Now, in Hinduism, there were things called castes. Castes were groups that you would be divided into. Your group affects who you marry, who your friends are, and your job. Fortunately, the Indian government has outlawed castes, so people are now treated equally. Also, people who believe in Hinduism do not eat beef. I should mention food, clothes, and other interesting facts. Vegetable dishes and lamb are very popular in India. Although rice, corn, barley, and chana are common Indian foods. Chana is a type of chickpea. Chapati is also common, but it's bread. Fruits are popular too, and they're found in desserts along with nuts. And now something about clothing. Men wear dhatis, which are loose-fitting pants and a long, loose shirt. Some men also wear clothing similar to USA. Women wear saris, which are dress-like clothing, made usually of cotton, but expensive saris are made of silk. Some women wear dresses too. Such a large population of exactly 1,342,512,706 needs lots of food. Many people are farmers, and they grow rice, wheat, and millet. They raise cows and buffalo, but cows are used for work, not food. India is the largest industrial power in the world. Steel mills make machinery, bikes, etc. Factories make chemicals, food products, fertilizer, drugs, etc. and so on. Fabric is hand-woven, but most factories make cloth and rugs. People have been living in India for 5,000 years. They even had to test 5 nuclear bombs underground so they could protect themselves against China and Pakistan. I hope you've learned a few things about India now. Thank you for listening.